Welcome to the JAG Ticketing and Delivery program. The purpose of the program is to accurately and efficiently calculate and record the transactions of loading and unloading crude oil from lease to the lease automatic custody transfer, or LAC. A vital part of purchasing crude oil at the lease site is accurately determining the quantity and quality of crude oil. JAG has developed a program that accurately accounts for the quantity and quality of crude oil from the lease to the LAC with the least possibility of error. The basis of accountability is the posting of QR codes at the lease on the tanks. Thus, the lease information and tank calibration or strappings are embedded in the QR code itself. However, QR code scanning can be turned off and tank information retrieved from web database or entered manually. A brief explanation of this process is as follows. A more detailed explanation will be presented in the video presentation. An app has been developed that runs on various tablets and cell phones. A Bluetooth or Wi-Fi printer is used to do required printing functions. QR codes are printed at the office or on site and placed on each tank. The app on the device reads the QR code and imports that information to the device. Keeping in mind that the device can operate in standalone mode or be connected to the internet for retrieving or posting data, but not necessary in all cases because data can be stored in the device. The driver will enter into the device the pertinent information, such as open and closed gauges of the tank. Also, temperature, BS&W, and other information will be entered. Keep in mind, the basic information such as driver, carrier, and other static information will be permanently stored in the device. Once the basic data is entered, then the device can use the data from the QR and the data entry to accurately calculate the barrels, time of start of the load and the end of load, as well as other information. Tickets can be printed as receipt to leave at the site. This data can be emailed or sent to secure database on the web if desired. This is not necessary in some cases, but is available. The printout will have all the pertinent information, plus a QR code printed on the ticket. The QR code will contain all the information on the printout. By producing this QR, the QR can then be scanned at the LAC and automatically transfer data to the system, thus eliminating errors and speeding up the process. The main benefits of automating the loading and unloading of crude oil are time, accuracy, and low cost. Our system is designed for new applications or replacing existing applications that don't provide the necessary functions. A more detailed description of the program is in the following presentation. This is the app icon. Once the app is selected, this display appears. Upon initial opening or when change is required, the following information is entered and stored in the device. Date and time. Of course, that'll be pulled from the system. Company name, account of, driver number, driver name, truck number, and trailer number. In the upper right hand corner there is a small icon. If selected, it will display configuration. If configuration is selected, a password will need to be entered. Once the password is entered, this screen will appear. Selection can be made for internet use and server address. Selection if tank strappings are to be pulled from the server database can be made. Since QR codes will contain this information, both internet use and selection of pull calibration from network can be off. Once returned to the opening screen, the scan on can be selected as on for scanning QR codes. If turned off, the driver can manually enter data that would normally be on the QR code. basic tank calibration would take place. Once QR is scanned, the data from the QR would populate the fields. If required, the flash on the device can be turned on by depressing the volume button. The data on the QR contains operator of the site, lease name, lease number, tank size, standard tank calibration, and there'll be 10 levels of tank strappings. There are also 4 different screen selections that can be embedded in the QR. These are turned on, off, depending on requirements. If top and bottom temperature required, then T1 is on. If bottom gauges are required, then T2 is on. If seal on and off required, then S1 is on. If gauging the tanks is required, G1 is on. These different screen selections makes it easier for the driver to enter the required information. The first 6 fields are text fields, and any information can be entered there. The next selection would be Edit. When Edit selected, this screen will appear if all selections are on. Then they will be able to enter destination, open gauge in feet, open gauge in inches, open gauge in quarter inches, closed gauge in feet, closed gauge in inches, closed gauge in quarter inches. BS and W, tank temperature top, tank temperature bottom, tank open gauge bottom inches, tank closed gauge bottom inches, observed gravity, observed temperature, estimated / metered barrels, seal off, seal on, comment. These fields will have to be entered because save will only be allowed if all fields completed. After entry complete, the calculated fields will automatically be populated. The calculated fields consist of calculated barrels, ticket number, which is the combination of the driver number plus date and time. If selected in configuration and using a smart device, the data can be emailed and sent to the web database. Data can be viewed, edited, and printed from the web database. The tickets can be printed using the Bluetooth or Wi-Fi printer, thus leaving the required number of printout tickets at the site. Tickets can be printed to carry to the unloading site or LAC. Once at the LAC, the QR code on the ticket will be scanned and all pertinent data information transferred to the LAC. Unloading can begin immediately with no data entry by the driver. In summary, the goal of the program is to efficiently and accurately account for the pickup and delivery of crude oil with relatively low cost of investment in hardware and the flexibility of having an application that is portable. The program requires the least amount of input from the driver, thereby reducing errors and time. This is accomplished by retrieving automatically the tank strapping and applying observed information, thus providing the accurate quantity of crude oil recorded at pickup and efficiently and accurately accounting for the delivery.